how you doing? This is TV and school. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойські дівчиська.
Okay, guys, welcome back. We continue talking about jobs and careers. Today, we're going to discuss very important skills. I know that you've got lots of skills in your life. For example, you know English. It's a skill. Or you can go snowboarding and snowboard, that's also a skill. Or you can draw or write or read, that's also a skill. To count is a skill. Those are hard skills, but today we're going to talk about soft skills. Soft skills are essential to be a good professional. To be a good employee, you need to have those skills. So let's take a look at this chart. There you can see such skills as time management or agility, humility and patience. Then comes interpersonal skills and leading change, work ethic, communication. And if you've got all these skills in your personality, they match each other like a puzzle and you make a better employee. So today we're going to discuss the necessity of these skills in your future career. Let's take a look. To prepare, let's get some more new vocabulary. So the task is to fill in the gaps with the correct phrase from the box. Take a look at the box, please. So the first one is analyze information, then communicate well, then problem solving, good at making decisions, the 21st century, and age of technology. You have to flick through the whole text to get the overall idea of it. You have to think where you should put a verb or where you should put a noun. And actually, that will be a hint for you. So, first time you flick through the whole text, it means you look quickly through the whole text to get the overall idea, and then you try to fill the gaps in. Then we'll be able to check your answers. Okay, guys, let's see the answers. Here they are. Let's read the text and insert the correct options. I'll start reading. We are living in the 21st century. Some people call it the age of technology. We need to learn such skills as problem solving, and we need to be able to communicate well with other people around the world. Employers are looking for people who analyze information well, people who are able to recognize whether information is reliable or not. They also like people who are good at making decisions without asking for help. Guys, can you tell me what soft skills are mentioned in this text? I can see problem solving, and good at making decisions, and analysis of information, and communication. So these are the soft skills. They are not taught in the universities. They are not taught at schools. They are taught by life, or we can develop the skills, well, maybe at school too. Let's continue. Now, we're going to read the text about soft skills that you will need for your future jobs. Again, the task is the same. You know this task pretty well. True or false? Let's look through the statements. So the first one, the 21st century skills are not taught in schools in the UK. Is the statement true or is it false? Just guess. Then, employers like workers to be imaginative. Maybe yes, maybe no. Then comes, employers want workers to think about possible problems. Well, for me, it's definitely a good choice if the worker can see the possible problems and solve it. But guys, you should remember that these statements should be true or false, not according to your or my general knowledge, but according to the text. Number 4, employers like workers to be original when solving problems. Maybe. Number 5, future workers will need to be able to write concisely. Concisely means short. Then comes, people communicate with each other less in the 21st century. Is it true? Do we communicate less? We'll see. Employers believe it is useful to know a lot of information about celebrities. Why should I know about Lady Gaga or Madonna? What's the sense in it? Number 8, employers don't want workers to make decisions without asking them. Do I actually want my worker to come every time when he or she needs to make a decision? Okay, guys. And again, do you remember what I did with you last time? Right. So, would you please mark the sentences? I marked them true or false for you. But do you remember that I was really mean last time? This time I'm really mean too. There are mistakes. So, look at this slide and find my mistakes. After the reading, of course. Now, would you please follow me in reading? Have you got the skills you need for the 21st century workplace? We need to develop all kinds of skills to survive in the 21st century. Some, like ICT skills and knowledge of the digital world, are taught explicitly in schools in the UK. Here are 5 less obvious ones for you to think about. These are the sorts of skills that employers may ask you questions about in the interviews. So it's a good idea to think about how good you are in these areas. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Imagination. In the age of technology that we're living now, it is no longer enough to keep on making the same products. Employers need people who can imagine new approaches and new ideas. Think. Think of an object or gadget you use every day. How could it be improved? Can you think of 3 improvements? Problem solving. Employers will value workers who are able to see problems before they happen and come up with creative solutions. Think. Imagine you are organizing an end-of-term social event at school. Think of some problems that you could face. Can you think of any solutions? Communication skills. Workers will have to be good communicators. They will have to be able to negotiate and discuss key issues and also write in a clear way without using too many words. Think. How do people communicate with each other in the 21st century? Critical analysis. Employers want workers who are able to recognize the difference between information that can be believed and false information. Think. Use the internet to find out 3 facts about a celebrity or famous figure. Can you verify the information by checking other websites? Decision-making. Individual workers have a growing amount of responsibility. It is important to be able to evaluate a situation and be confident in making a decision. Think, which 3 things could you do to be A. healthier, B. Do better at school. And C. Help others. Make a decision now to do at least one of these things. Then just do it. Okay, guys, so we read the text, and here I reveal once again the statements, true, false. Now let's check them. So you saw my answers, here they are. Let's check how many mistakes I made. So the first one, it is false. Yes, it is false that 21st century skills are not taught in schools in the UK. Still, they are taught, but not on a very high rate. The next one, that's definitely true. Employers like workers to be imaginative. Then, employers want workers to think about possible problems. And they like the workers to be original while solving problems. Future workers will need to be able to write concisely, to write shortly. People communicate with each other less in the 21st century. That's not true. We communicate a lot, but we communicate using the other means of communication. We text a lot, and that is why we need to be really concise, really short. Then comes, employers believe it is useful to know a lot of information about celebrities. The statement is false. Employers believe that you need to know the difference between true information and false information. And the last sentence, employers don't want workers to make decisions without asking them. Well, of course, they do want us to make our own decisions, and the statement is false. So let's continue. Now, check your understanding with vocabulary gap fill. Take a look. You've got have, make, value, differentiate, develop, discuss, teach, and solve. You don't need to change the form. You have to fill the sentences in with these words. Let's take a look at the first one. UK schools and colleges, ICT skills. So what would you insert? I think it should be teach. Once again, the whole sentence. UK schools and colleges teach ICT skills. ICT means information and communication technologies. Then comes employers, people with ideas for new approaches. Employers value people with ideas for new approaches. Value means cherish and be grateful for that. Then comes employers like workers who can problems. What do we do with problems? We solve problems. Workers need to be able to work with their team. To do what with their work? To discuss. It's impossible not to discuss anything with your team and supposed to have a good team and a good job. Then comes workers need their writing skills. I think to develop their writing skills. The next one, it's important that workers can, between truth and lies, can differentiate, can see the difference between truth and lies. Employees in the 21st century, more responsibility. So we've got have more responsibility. It's true. Today we have more responsibility than our parents used to have. The next one, employers like their workers to make decisions. And we need to make decisions every day. Okay, guys? So look through the sentences one more time. And if you don't know any of the words, write them down and then add them to your Quizlet. Okay, let's continue. Now, again, you're ready for the grammar snack. Today, we're going to revise two tenses. The first one is the past continuous tense. So you have to remember that we form it using was and were plus ing form of the verb. And the key words are while and when. Okay, then simple past or past simple, it's a short action. And it is used with when, for example, and it interrupts a longer action. Take a look. I was walking when he shouted at me. I was walking, that's a long process, and then he shouted at me. He interrupted my action. Or she was folding the papers when she cut her finger. Cut a finger is a short action, and she was in the process of folding it. They were washing their car. They were in the process, long action, washing the car, when the cat jumped on it. So the cat interrupted this action. Let's see. If used together with while, it is to show that something was happening at the time of speaking. He shouted at me while I was walking. While she was folding the papers, she cut her finger. So you can use and when and while. And you should remember that past continuous is a long action. Okay, let's move on. The baby was sleeping while the mother was cooking. Two long actions happening simultaneously. The baby was sleeping and mother was cooking. The next one, I was driving while my mom was talking to me. I was driving a car and simultaneously at this very moment my mother was talking to me. Here we've got long action and long action. Let's continue. So take a look. You can see the pictures, yeah? And you've got the verbs. You have to change the forms now, and you have to put them into the gaps. So let's see. The first verb is care, then comes crush, drive, fall asleep, fly, receive, ring, run, start, and walk. They're crossed out because they are already used. And then study and work. Let's take a look at the first sentence. The first picture. They were walking along the street when it started to rain. They were in the process and then the other action interrupted them. Okay, have a minute, look at these sentences, try to fill the gaps in, and then we'll check their answers. Okay, guys, let's check their answers. So, the second one. The phone rang while she was caring for her child. She was helping her child and then the phone rang. It interrupted the action. Then comes, while she was working, she received a phone call. She was working, she was really busy, she was doing something, and then the telephone rang and interrupted her. A long action, she was working. A short action, the telephone rang. The next one, while he was driving, he crashed into a tree. Again, a long action, he was driving and boom, he crashed into a tree. He was interrupted by this tree. The next one, he fell asleep while he was studying. Well, a very common situation with the students. You study late at night and imagine you were studying and then one moment you fell asleep. And the last one, a bird flew over her head while she was running along the beach. The bird wasn't flying with her all the way. It just flew over her head. So she was running a long action and the bird flew over is a short one. Okay, so the first question, are you ready for this quiz? Let's see. When you the door and saw the new TV, you felt surprised. So what would you choose? Opening, were opening, opened, or was opening? You choose, and it's opened. Yes, these are short actions. You opened the door and you were surprised. Okay, ready for the next one? Let's see. Okay, last Monday, I my bills and left. So these like I did something and I left. Two actions or more actions happening in a row. Let's see. We've got here were paying, was paying, paid, and paying. If to think, I definitely know that the last one, paying, is not correct. You can't use ing form without any auxiliary verbs. Okay, so concentrate on the first three. And the answer is paid. Right. Last Monday, I paid my bills and left. Okay, the next one. When a plate crushed. So the plate crushed, maybe I was in the process of something. Let's see, we've got here cooking, definitely not. Remember, you can't use ing form without any auxiliary verbs. Okay, then comes were cooking, cooked, and was cooking. I can't be were cooking, not in this case. A and B are not correct. So let's choose between C and D. Ready to choose? 1, 2, 3, and the answer is was cooking. That's right. A long action interrupted with this plate. Okay, the next one, number 4. We were running to the station exactly when the train. So we were running. And what was the train doing? Guys, I gave you the hint. Here, were leaving, left, was leaving, living. Again, D and A are definitely not the sentences we need. You can't say leaving and you can't say train were, because train is one. So it should be was at least. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. The answer is was leaving. We were running and we saw how the train was just vanishing. Very unfortunate situation. The next one. From 6 to 6:15, I pictures while I was having a walk. I was having a walk at this time and maybe 2 long actions. Look through the answers. Again, answer B is not correct because you can't say in this case I were. And again, D, definitely not okay. Guys, please be aware. You need auxiliary verbs. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, ready for the answer? And yes, I was taking pictures. From 6 to 6:15, I was taking pictures while I was having a walk. Okay, good. Half done. Let's have the other 5 ones. Okay, the next one is, over last week, they hired from Monday to Friday. Over last week means during the last week, all over the last week. So what would you use? 1, 2, 3, and the answer is were working, right? Over the last week, they were working hard from Monday to Friday. We want to show a long action, and we've got this over the last week. Not only last week, but over the last week. The next one, okay? Your teeth, when suddenly she came into the bathroom. Just imagine the situation. You're doing something, yes? And then she comes into your bathroom. Okay, so what is this action? Is it long or is it short? Take a look and brushing is not okay. You remember why. And then you with was definitely not okay. So choose between A and D. 1, 2, 3. The answer is definitely D. Okay, number 8, please. As they down the road, they found an O. Again, imagine the situation. You're on a walk, you're walking, and you see the O. Maybe on the tree or maybe on the ground, I don't know. So again, you are in the process. And what action is it? It's a long action. And the correct answer again here is we're walking. Okay? 2 more. And number 9, he didn't do his homework. He sleeping all night. So he was sleeping all night. Yes, he was sleeping all night, and that's why he didn't do his homework. Okay? The next one, the last one. At 9, Sean was reading while Samantha, so what was she doing? That's the hint. She was shopping. 2 long actions happening simultaneously. Sean was reading and Samantha was shopping. Okay, guys, are you ready for the home task? This time, this home task will be online, and if you are watching us on YouTube, you will get these links below the video. So would you please follow them and do some grammar tasks on past simple and past continuous. You just click on this link, and then there will be some exercises. So you have to type into the words and then click enter or submit your answers. And if your answers are in bold, then it means that they are correct. You can do these exercises as many times as you want. I would definitely recommend you to use this website to improve your grammar skills. It is really easy to navigate it, and it's really helpful. Okay, guys, stay tuned, have fun, enjoy your days at school, and be back to the next lesson. Bye.